Good afternoon. I recorded this for you this morning, but let this be a lesson to all of us. Remember to check the mute button on the microphone. So, take two. In fact, take two. Today we're going to talk about full spectrum thinking, thinking ink. And in printing, one of the models of printing is CMYK, which are your cyan, your magenta, your yellow, and your black ink. And with those four colours, you can do the full spectrum. Miss any one of those, and the work of art is not complete. Interesting, but not complete. Now, how many of us think in one colour, in one thinking pattern? So, it seems God has provided the four-colour pen. Easy to buy, very irritating to use, especially if you've got a hall in a school full of 300 children who I just gifted the pens to. That's something I will never forget. However, back on the plot. You can use a simple four-colour pen to revolutionise your thinking. And all you need to do is consistently apply a meaning to each colour. Tony Buzan, the great mind mapping and memory guru, was party to some research that when you used colour on purpose, your memory was boosted by 50% through that one technique alone. So we're going to assign the black ink to black box thinking, data, fact, analysis. None of that squidgy emotional stuff, just the science. And if you were in a meeting and things started to get a bit hot, we go, let's have some black thinking ink. Give us just the facts. What do we know? What do we need to know? Who, what, why, where, when? However, Edward de Bono developed a technique called 6 thinking hats based on thinking caps. And the genius of his technique was the red hat, where you were allowed to express your feelings without any justification. So the red ink can be used in this technique for how do we feel about that, and without having to explain why we feel like that. So we might have a plan to expand our organisation, and if we go to the red ink and go, how do you feel about that? I didn't like it, I didn't feel safe, I never did it. So it's an interesting one. The blue ink is blue sky thinking. What if we had no limits when it came to the money? What if we had no limits where it came to the time required? What if we had no limits when it came to the personnel we'd need to build the team with? So if there were no limits, what would you dare to attempt? That's blue sky thinking with the blue ink. And then finally, we have the green of ecology, because every decision we make affects every other decision. And you and I share a certain wonderful limitation. You know, if I was the President of the United States or the Prime Minister of England, I would have, as we measure time, 168 hours a week. If I was down on my luck and out on the street, I would have 168 hours a week. So that's a hard limitation as we measure time. And if I say yes to an idea, it means saying no to other ideas, just because we don't have limitless time. So the green is for the ecological consequences, not in terms of caring after the earth, although it could be, caring for the earth, but it's wider. If I say yes to this relationship, it means saying no to that relationship. If I say yes to this job and moving to that house, it says no to that location and that job. And so the green explores the consequences. And that means if you've got a nice piece of paper where you're planning on, you can see how much black, red, green, and blue ink you use, and in some senses get a visual spatial colour balance of full spectrum thinking. Could it work for you? Let me know in the comments how you get on. They're easy to buy, these pens, but if you see me in person, I might give you one.